Breaking news, we've had a response from the Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, to the UK's decision earlier today to recognise the state of Palestine in September, unless Israel takes what Sir Keir Starmer has called.
Israel is being rocked by a scandal that involves its former top military lawyer, a leaked video, and a bizarre sequence of events.
Said we're going to be diving into some of those headlines in the Middle East. Putting this up on your screen. This is from Fox News saying breaking Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu orders immediate and powerful strikes.
It was just past 2:45 p.m. yesterday when the world's eyes turned to Jerusalem, but no one expected the shockwave that was about to hit London. Benjamin Netanyahu, the Israeli Prime Minister, stepped to the podium with an icy calm, a stack of papers in hand, and delivered 6 words that sent tremors through the heart of British politics. Britain has betrayed its oldest ally. For a moment, the room froze. Diplomats blinked in disbelief. Journalists instinctively reached for their phones. And across the Atlantic and Europe, screens lit up with breaking news alerts. Every British newspaper, every news network, and every trending social media platform erupted in chaos. Netanyahu didn't pause. With the precision of a seasoned statesman, he lifted classified documents exposing secret communications between Downing Street and organisations Israel considers hostile. Documents that Labour officials had long insisted were imaginary and dismissed as conspiracy. Yet here they were, irrefutable and staring the world in the face. If you think Britain's diplomatic reputation was intact yesterday morning, it isn't anymore. To understand the fallout, we need to go back 11 days. That was when Prime Minister Keir Starmer quietly signed off on suspending arms export licences to Israel, a decision made under the banner of humanitarian concerns in Gaza. The announcement was buried in a Friday afternoon press release, the classic political tactic to minimise attention. But Netanyahu saw through it immediately. His reaction was swift, calculated and devastating. First, he cancelled a highly anticipated London visit. Then he expelled 3 British diplomats from Tel Aviv. But that was only the beginning. The real shock came when he went public with evidence of secret labour negotiations with Palestinian groups that Israel labels as terrorist organisations. Standing at the podium, flanked by Israeli flags, his words cut through the air like a scalpel. While British soldiers fought alongside us against terror for decades, your government now stabs us in the back, not in private, not through diplomacy, but through betrayal. The consequences were immediate. Washington issued a statement questioning Britain's reliability as a NATO partner. Paris and Berlin's silence was deafening, a diplomatic rebuke louder than words could ever convey. Senior Foreign Office figures compared it to the Suez Crisis of 1956. One veteran civil servant, speaking anonymously, described it as watching a car crash in slow motion. Everyone knows the disaster is coming, yet nobody can stop it. Meanwhile, British veterans were enraged. Colonel David Harrison, a retired parachute regiment officer, released a video that went viral within hours. Standing in full dress uniform, medals glinting under the studio lights, he spoke with raw, unfiltered anger. We bled together, we died together, and now Starmer spits on our sacrifice to appease those who would destroy everything we fought for. His words struck a nerve across the country. Every share and every comment amplified the outrage, and it wasn't just the veterans. Citizens noticed the stark contrast between Starmer's government dining in luxury at Chequers on taxpayer money, while soldiers who defended Britain struggled to pay heating bills. Ministers earn 6-figure salaries, insulated by privilege, while ordinary heroes are left to fend for themselves. The moral outrage is palpable, even among lifelong Labour supporters. And it gets worse. Jewish communities across the UK report a surge in anti-Semitic incidents. In just 9 days, the Community Security Trust recorded 127 attacks, a 340% increase from the previous month. Threatening messages flooded synagogues in London, Manchester and Leeds. Jewish schoolchildren faced harassment on their way to class. Rabbi Jonathan Goldstein of the Jewish Leadership Council broke down in tears during a press briefing, pleading with the government to recognise the consequences of its actions. The Jewish Chronicle ran a haunting front page, "Betrayed again." The editorial declared Starmer's decision a stain on Britain's moral conscience, damage that could take generations to repair. Polls confirm the crisis, with 89% of British Jews losing confidence in Labour's ability to protect their interests. Then came an unprecedented move, and King Charles, breaking decades of royal neutrality, issued a statement at a private reception for Commonwealth ambassadors, emphasising Britain's moral duty to honour its alliances. When we abandon our commitments to those who stand with us in darkness, we abandon ourselves, he said, his voice resolute. Palace insiders revealed the king personally oversaw multiple drafts, ensuring every word carried weight. Even Prince William reportedly encouraged him to speak, emphasising the national stakes. Financial markets felt the shock immediately. The pound plummeted 2.3% against the dollar in a single session, wiping billions from the FTSE 100. Investors questioned Britain's stability. Tech companies with Israeli ties reconsidered their London offices. Defence contractors quietly explored moving operations to Ireland and Poland. Rolls-Royce held emergency meetings over sensitive projects, potentially leaving British soil. Union leaders, normally loyal to Labour, condemned the government's recklessness. Sharon Graham of Unite criticised Starmer for gambling with workers' livelihoods for political optics. Social media amplified the outrage. Young Britain Betrayed trended globally for 37 hours, generating over 400 million impressions. Protests erupted in every major city. Thousands marched in Manchester. Vigils were held in Birmingham, and rallies in Leeds drew unprecedented crowds. Polls told the story in stark numbers. Labour's approval rating plummeted from 39% to 24% in a week. Among voters over 50, support dropped to 19%. Even Labour's core base is wavering. Constituency offices report angry calls, cancelled memberships, and growing unrest among backbench MPs. Inside Number 10, ministers clash as emergency cabinet meetings devolve into shouting matches. Documents allegedly reveal Downing Street staff met with organisations tied to extremism, bypassing Parliament entirely, a potential violation of national security protocols. Former Attorney General Geoffrey Cox has called for a parliamentary inquiry, warning of possible criminal offences under the Terrorism Act. Meanwhile, Nigel Farage seizes the moment, delivering speeches that resonate with a public desperate for clarity. We stood with our allies, we honoured our word, we defended democracy. Now we have a government that betrays Israel and apologises to those who would destroy us, he says, his voice rising with conviction. The impact is tangible. Reform UK membership surges, donations flood in, and Farage's approval rating skyrockets. Conservative numbers hold steady while Labour teeters dangerously close to collapse. For the first time in history, a party founded less than 6 years ago could realistically claim power. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We read everyone. And subscribe now, because in our next video, we'll reveal the leaked documents that show exactly what Labour has been hiding. This evidence could rewrite British history and redefine who holds power in London.